Good morning, everybody. I'm here today to review with you your second day of review for fractions on a number line. And then later on today, after you view this video, you will complete your final review for Unit 12, and then you will have your test tomorrow. Okay, so let's begin. So here, looking at these number lines, we need to count between 0 and 1 to find how many equal parts. So let's begin with the first one. We start at 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is right here 3/3. So this number line is representing thirds. Now, some people are still making a mistake with this. They're counting from 0 to 2. So this is the mistake that's happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they're calling this fourths. Okay, this is not fourths. You have to count from 0 to 1 right here. So 1, 2. This number line is different than this number line, okay? So since this has two parts, this is halves. So this is 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, 4/2. And let's move on here to the third number line. Okay, here's 0 and here's 1. That's really what you have to look for first. Where is 0 and where is 1? So beginning at 0, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we are dealing with eighths. Okay, moving here between 0 and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now if you look at this number line, similar to this number line, here's the 1. You have to identify where is the 1 immediately before counting. So some people were calling this eights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you're not counting to 2. You have to stop at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is fourths. Okay, now, if you're having trouble with a problem like this, you can't really decide where to put 2/3, then divide the number line into thirds first. So pick the line, okay, we know that about 1/3, and then 2/3, okay? You're looking to try to make the spaces as equal as possible. Again, this is not perfect, but it's very, very close, and as long as I can understand that you understand, and also this is not going to be on your test anyway, but it is good practice. All right, so we need to work here to plot a number line that represents fourths. So I'm going to begin by placing 0/4 here and 4/4 here. Okay, remember 4/4 or 5/5 or 6/6, whenever the numerator and denominator are the same, that equals 1. And whenever the unit fraction, not the unit fraction, whenever the fraction has a 0 in the numerator, that is 0. So remember what I said about fourths. You can begin by doing 2/4 because that's equal to 1/2. So as I place that number line there, that line there on the number line, here's my 2/4. Now to get 1/4, I can divide this half in half. Half of a half is a quarter or a fourth. Okay, so here's my 1/4, and again, halfway between 2/4 and 4/4 is 3/4. So fourths are actually one of the easier ones to do, aside from halves. Halves are the easiest ones to do. Fourths are probably the second easiest one to do. Okay, so here is another look. All right, so here's 0, and here's 1, and then here's 2. So again, between 0 and 1, we need two parts. We'll get that by drawing one line. And then I'm going to draw another line here between 1 and 2, halfway. Okay, so between 0 and 1, there's 1, 2. Between 1 and 2, there's 1, 2. Between each whole number on the number line, if you're representing halves, will be two parts. So then here's 1/2. So we have 0, 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, and this one here would be 4/2. Just another quick look at that, and then I will move on. Okay, this one I don't think was much of a problem. You're counting between 0 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're dealing with 6. There's only one choice dealing with 6 here. This is fifth, this is fourth, but let's just double check that it is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5, 6, out of 6. Okay. Again, we need to decide the number of parts. So let's begin counting. Between 0 and 1, always identify that 1 first. Where is it? Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're dealing with eighths. And we see that there are 2 out of the 8, so 2 eighths. Okay, 2 eighths is the answer there. Okay, now again, identify where the number 1 is. This number line is different than the previous one. This number line is showing between 0 and 2. Remember when we zoomed in between 0 and 1? And then on that whiteboard, I taught you how to zoom in between 0 and 2. So you're looking at it differently. This is only showing between 0 and 1. This is representing between 0 and 2. So we only count between 0 and 1. 1, 2, 3. This is thirds. People chose sixths, okay? If you watch the video carefully, you will understand what we're looking for. And if you're not, then you're not hearing me anyway. Okay, so now we're counting up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since we're dealing with thirds, it's 5 thirds. Here's the common mistake. Some kids put 5 sixths because they thought that this was the one. You got to look carefully. We're dealing with thirds. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So it's 5 thirds. Remember, when the numerator is greater than the denominator, then, as the example is here, the numerator 5 is greater than 3. The denominator, that's greater than 1, and you can see that here on this number line. Fractions on a number line are very good representations of fractions. Okay, again, here is the 1, not here. The first thing I do is look for where is that 1. And now I'm counting the parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're dealing with fourths, not eighths like some people put. If you counted from here to 2, you count 8, but we need to stop at the 1. 1, 2, out of 3, 4, so 2 out of 4. So we're dealing with 2 fourths. My mouth is very sensitive in this program. That's why it always clicks ahead. Okay, so 2 fourths. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're 1, 2 along, 2 out of the 4. All right, so here we need to decide which has 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifths. 1, 2, 3. That's fourths. Thirds. And 1, 2, 3, 4. This is fourths, and 1, 2, 3 of them right here. 3 fourths. Okay, again, if you need help deciding where to plot fourths, you should start with 2 fourths. So I'm going to put 2 fourths, which is 1/2 here. And I'm going to put 2 fourths, which is here. Now, remember, that's 2 fourths. To get 1 fourth, we can cut the half in half. So here's 1 fourth. And here is 1 fourth. Here would be 3 fourths. And here would be 3 fourths. I'm only doing this to show you. But we only need to do 1 fourth, which is here. And here. Again, these number lines are different sizes. So I could have, again, a good example. Okay, if I walked, think about your backyard. If you walked across if you walked 1/4 of the way across your backyard, it's probably going to be bigger than 1/4 of the way across your bedroom. Okay, think about the long hallway, our long hallway down by the lockers at Wilson School. 1/4 of the way would probably be about the beginning of the lockers. But if you walked 1/4 of the way across the classroom, you'd only be near the desks. So it's a much smaller space. So it depends on what you're looking at. And this is a good representation of that. Okay, so this one should have been easy. Remember what I said about, and I said it in the video yesterday, so if you watched, you saw it. Whenever the numerator and the denominator are the same, that's equal to 1. Okay, and you can see that 1 is right here. And of course, again on this one, 1 is right here. Okay, and finally, again, count between 0 and 1. 0 and 1. Here is 1 on all of them. 1, 2, 3. So it's thirds. And this is 4, 5 thirds. So it's thirds because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this is 5 thirds because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's also 1 and 2 thirds as a mixed number. Okay, here is 1, 2. So it's halves. And this is 1, 2, 3 halves. It's also 1 and 1/2 as a mixed number. They call it a mixed number because you're mixing a whole number with a fraction. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're dealing with fourths. Here's 4/4, so 5/4. And since 4/4 is equal to 1, it's 1 and you see one more fourth. Okay, that's it for this review, and you'll work your way through the fractions. I want to see what you can do on your own independently first, and then I'll review that with you tomorrow. I find that to be the most effective way to do the reviews. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you had any misunderstandings clarified. Have a great day.